I know, Amber, you didn't want to talk about this, but I want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everywhere you're seeing on social media and stuff, you're seeing World War III.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's so, like,
Okay,
weird.
But
because
they're not saying it in a serious way.
No, they are.
I mean, they are, but then
we were talking about like desensitization last time.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is the peak.
Yeah. This is the peak.
People casually throwing around World War III and memeing it.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, like, I laughed at some of them, and I feel bad at laughing at some of them, but like, people are funny.
I mean, with things like this, I get it. I get the meme stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't really think it's like that funny.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's like more so just ridiculous, especially like the cause of it all.
Yeah.
And
see, that's the problem that's why I didn't want to talk about it. It's just that there's just so much.
There's a lot to unpack, but I kind of want to take it.
That's the problem.
Yeah. I know that, but I just think that like it's so weird, and like our president is tweeting out his ideas, and is like, one of the weirdest things I find is like him flexing how much money he's spent on the military.
Yeah.
Right? Like, for the longest time, I've always thought it's completely ridiculous that like America is into flexing the amount of money we spend on military, because we love to talk about the things that we don't have. We don't have clean water. We don't have, so many different things, homeless vets and this and that. And frankly, issues that, don't affect us sitting in this room, a lot of people that are listening, we're all privileged, right? So it doesn't really matter to us, but I know that it matters to a lot of other people,
for sure,
including his supporters, right? Like a lot of his supporters are like white redneck people who like don't have jobs, that are being taken by robots, and like that are being affected by things like not clean water and like maybe not infrastructures,
rednecks, but individuals.
A lot of rednecks.
I know.
A lot of rednecks.
But the point I'm trying to make is it's people who had like labor work.
Low income white trash.
For us.
Yes.
But there's a lot more than the low income white trash.
I know, but what I'm telling you is that population is like, oh, army, this and that, like support our vets, this, but like, bro, he's saying like, oh, we spent $2 trillion on military.
Jeez, that's a big number.
I'm gonna put in quotation, 2 trillion. Like, that's a funny number, bro.
Right.
You can't fix homeless vets with that? Are you serious?
Right.
Yeah.
So I just think that the idea of we spent this much money
flexing
on that,
money and weapons,
and on that, while these problems exist, and like people that are against spending money and that are complaining about tax dollars, this and that, again, like, it doesn't really affect me. It doesn't really affect us. Like on that note, like, I don't have military members in my family like that or anything, like, but do I care about people that are suffering? Yeah. Do I wish that those problems would go away? Yeah, but I know that they can go away.
I know that it's like on an intellectual basis, I think war and like countries fighting is just so interesting to me, because it's the idea of very few people having disagreements and large numbers of people who are uninvolved getting hurt.
That's easy to say, right? Like, it's easy to say we shouldn't have war, we shouldn't fight, right?
No, I know that's a very naive stance to take.
No, but it's important to understand that military is important for defense,
for sure,
for defending, right? And principle and ethics of a lot of things. Even if you take religion into account, a lot of basis of war and fighting is like defend. But what has happened here in the Iran case is like, it's like me telling you that, okay, I thought that Shamir was gonna punch me, so I punched him first.
Right.
That's not that's not defending.
That's not defending.
That's not defending,
no.
And that's exactly what happened here. And by the way, if you look at the history of the way that America has been involved in war, they lied to us about Vietnam, they lied to us about Iraq, and if you think that they're telling us the truth about what's going on in Iran, you're dumb, bro.
Yeah.
That's all.
Sure.
That's all I wanted to say about this. And just to like, okay, like, memes are gonna happen.
Even locally, like we haven't trusted anything that Trump said. On average, what he like lies 13 times a day or something.
Yeah.
So like, why should we believe?
It's not a Trump thing though.
I understand.
It's the Clintons. It's Barack Obama.
I know it goes deeper.
Like, I'm just talking about America in general. The way that like it's stupid that we think that it's cool to flash that this is how much we're spending on. He spends millions of dollars on military parades. Millions of dollars can literally save so much. Like, even if you think about, for example, what's going on in Australia.
I mean, he could take a couple less golf trips and save a lot of money too. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, like money. People don't understand that money. Like, the government has an endless supply of money.
Right.
That if you think that you need money to fix what's going on in America, we don't have it because we're in debt or something. No. Like, you don't know what's going on.
Right.
We have all the money to fix all of these things. We would just rather spend it on keeping other people down so that we stay up. And like, imagine what we could do with civilization, advancement, technology, and like, just so much overall. And I was saying the example of like Australia and what's going on with the wildfires. Like, if we really cared about what's going to happen to our future, we know that the whole world needs to be in unison for us to live past a certain year. Yeah. We're in 2020 right now, but we don't know what it's going to be like in 2030 and 40 and on. So like, Australia is going to affect the rest of the world. Yeah. Right. The wildfires that are going there in California, everything that's happening on an environmental basis is going to affect all of us. And it does affect all of us. And it has affected all of us.
Yeah.
Even looking back at, like, you know, bringing war back into it, what America did to Japan, people are still suffering with what happened in Hiroshima and still like all of that. Even our last guest was talking about that, like how there's areas that you're not supposed to go to, and there's like, you know, just think about like what we've done, but now looking at it, like what we could prevent. And if you want to spend $2 trillion on war and making the world a worse place to live, and what does war do? It increases poverty, it increases or it like worsens the environment. Like, there's so much to it. There's people that lose so much, and not just like, I'm thinking about also the people that are going to war from America. Those people don't find the memes funny.
Right.
The people that like are about to, you know, have a family member.
Also, I just think that we have the luxury of making those memes. Meanwhile, people in Iran are actually worried.
We're so privileged, right? Like,
we're over
again,
here
like it's sometimes it's funny, but I just think that the overall idea of like what we believe in as our, and like the things that people cheer on, war.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird.
It's so weird.
It's whack.